We already know the deal. We're watching practice on Saturday, so these are going to change. However, I don't think you can bet against Jet. So I have Jet and my 250 as my all-star. Like I said, I just don't think you can bet against him. Kyle Chisholm is on the Star Racing 250 class fill-in ride. So I definitely got to pick him. I think he's going to top 10 rider guaranteed. So I'm going to watch that, how that plays out. Henry Miller did a solid ride last week in Daytona. I don't know what is necessarily his rides before that race, but he got a 13th at Daytona with a handicap of 6. I kind of like that positioning with the 250 East class kind of being depleted a little bit. I see that non all-star 6 handicap pretty solid placing by Henry Miller in the last couple of weeks. So I kind of like Henry Miller there. And then John Short as same kind of deal as Henry Miller, right? 6 handicap, been riding really, really solid, making the main events. Daytona's a little iffy on the last moto finishes because Daytona is a different ball game, right? But with that being said, I know John Shorts have been making mains. So with the 6 handicap, with this the 15th through or I would say 8th through 15th being up in the air every weekend, that's a good solid pick for Henry or John Short. So I kind of like that. So those are my 4 riders that I would say for the 250 class. Now, when I hop over to the 450 class, I would pick an Eli Tomac per se, right? I would pick an Eli. However, with the 0 handicap as an all-star, I do see him being in the top 5. But I also see Malcolm Stewart being in the top 5. So I kind of like the 4 handicap just in case, say, Malcolm gets a 4th, he gets first place points, right? So I kind of like that. And then Justin Bogle, been riding solid. So I kind of like the 6. He's like a top 15th guy, right? So I kind of like that 6, puts him in a double points position and could get a top 12, and that would help with the points. So I kind of like that ride. Alex Martin, he's been in the mains the last couple of weekends, I guess every weekend since that one failed one back in the West Coast. So I kind of like the 9 handicap there. He's been riding solid. Daytona's not really a fair basically review of what he's been doing because it is just a crazy track. So I like Alex Martin to get better than a 21st placing. So I like Alex Martin with the 9 handicap. That gives me a good top 17, top 15 rider, right? So I kind of like that. And then Cade, this is my risk. This is definitely my risk right here. With an 11 handicap, I like the handicap situation, and I like Cade making the main event. However, that is my biggest risk because you also have the privateer guys that are going to be trying to take those spots from 18 to 22nd, that LCQ, Ryan Breeze, Cade, Justin, Brandon here. You also have an Alex Ray, if he's racing, Politelli. So kind of those 5 or 6 guys are up in the air for that LCQ every weekend. So I'm kind of picking on a risk with Cade here, but I do like that 11, and I kind of like him how he's been riding recently. So I kind of like that positioning. So those are my kind of my fantasy team right now. I like it. I don't really love it per se, right? I don't really love my 250 class. However, there's not really much to pick in the 250 class right now, with how I like picking. Because everybody that is a really good rider recently is just an all-star. And I've already picked Oldenburg, Hampshire, and Faries last week, so I can't pick them again. So there's a couple other good riders, like Harlan's good, Poppy, Drake, or Fry. Kind of like these guys right here. Fry's been making it in on the LCQ ride, so that kind of maybe a risk change right there if you guys wanted to go with that. A little bit higher handicap than my other guys, so that's kind of an up in the air pick if you guys wanted to switch them out or not. And then Kyle Peters as well. He's actually banged up, so that's why I didn't really pick him yet. Trying to see how he feels on that track on Saturday, if he can actually ride through it or not. Hopefully he can. So, and then that's kind of it. And then the 450 class, you guys know, that's good riders an all-star, and then everybody from 9th through 15th that's who I'm picking right now, right? Because I already picked everybody else from last week at Daytona. I picked Ken Roxon last week, Anderson, Dean, and I don't know where my fourth guy is. Yeah, I don't know where he is, but we had him. So, and then if I'm going into my predictions, right? My top 5 for the 250 class, you know, you got to go with Jet. You just have to go with Jet first. So I'm going to pick Jet first. I'm going to go Cameron McAdoo second. I like Pierce Brown third. Styles Robertson fourth. Enzo Lopes fifth. Scratch that. Is RJ racing? He probably is. I'm going to redo this now. So my 250 class at Detroit is going to be Jet Lawrence first. Cameron McAdoo second. RJ Hampshire third. Pierce Brown fourth. Styles Robertson fifth. And then my 450 class, this is where it's going to be interesting for me, right? Because my 450 class, I kind of feel like this is going to be a bad race for Eli Tomac. I kind of feel like he's going to get like a 5th or a 6th here. I'm going to get some heat on this on TikTok, but this is what I'm going to do. All right, watch this. It's going to go Jason Anderson first, Cooper Webb second, Malcolm Stewart third, Chase Sexton fourth, Eli Tomac fifth. Like I said, I think this is Eli's not a good race for Eli. I'm just thinking it. I'm predicting it. He's going to get a 5th or a 6th. That's why I'm going with this. And yeah, that's why I know it's crazy. I'm going to get some heat. That's my picks. So be on the lookout. It's going to be interesting to watch. And yeah, that's my picks. Anderson, Cooper, Malcolm, Sexton, Tomac. Barsha gets 6. Maybe. I don't know. But those are my top 5. That's my top 5 for the 450s. They're going to be right. Maybe. Hopefully. We got to get some of these right? I think at least the top 5. That's the top 5 in general speaking, right? I think that's the top 5 in the general speaking in no random order. But we got to get some of those right. All right. Chad, this is so... I got to watch practice. I know I say it every time, but shit, I don't know anybody that's going to actually do well